Hi all. So I wanted to make you aware of two important changes coming to our eMAR module within iCM effective Monday, March 8th. So the first is that the window to document medication or treatment administration will be narrowed to 1 hour before and only 1 hour after the ordered administration time. So right now, iCM gives a much longer window of time after to complete documentation, and this will no longer be the case as of March 8th. We have to narrow this window in order to ensure compliance with the MTTP manual and policies that were taught within our CMT class. So this idea of administering medication 1 hour before or 1 hour after the ordered administration time, that's nothing new to us as CMTs. So nothing that I'm saying should be a shock to you. This is exactly what we're taught within CMT class. So now we are just narrowing the documentation window within iCM to ensure that we are administering those medications within that allotted time, and we're completing the documentation for that within that allotted time, okay? So for example, if a medication is ordered for 8 p.m., you have from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. to administer that medication and complete the documentation within iCM. Now, this does not apply to certain medications such as insulin that should be given at the order time. We don't have that window of time for certain medications, but for the large majority of our medications, we have that 1 hour before and 1 hour after, okay? So after that window of time has closed, if documentation has not been completed within iCM, the medication will be marked as missed within iCM, and you'll need to document the administration of that medication by following the steps that I'm going to show you in just a bit. The second important change is that alerts are going to be set up to notify the program director when a medication is missed, so that follow-up can be completed with staff to ensure that the medication is administered and documented on time, and if needed, to ensure that the nurse is contacted regarding a late administration of medication. So what I'm going to show you is for when you have administered a medication on time within your appropriate time window, whatever that medication may be, but you have neglected to document the administration of that medication. This does not apply to if you have not administered the medication on time. Not administering a medication on time is a medication error, and you have to call the nurse to get permission to give a medication late, and you're going to have to complete a medication error report for that, okay? What I'm about to show you is if you completed the administration on time, but you did not complete the documentation on time, okay? So if I did administer this medication on time, but I did not document the administration of this medication on time, this is how we are going to document that within iCM. This, of course, has already been reviewed and is part of our eMAR module manual that you've been given, and it's also on our eMAR videos on YouTube. This is simply a refresher to make sure that we're all on the same page, okay? So for this one, again, you know, it's showing as missed or not administered within iCM. This is what you're going to see if you don't document your medication administration on time. So in order to document it, you're going to go to this not administered, to this arrow. You're going to say administer late and administer late. And within this window, if a pill number is appropriate, so if this is a medication being popped out of a blister pack, then you would enter the pill number just like you would normally. But if this was, you know, a topical or something like eye drops or something like that, obviously we can't put a pill number in for those. The date and time is going to default to the date and time that you are entering this within the system. So ideally, again, in this scenario, you administered the medication on time. So you would want to change the time to reflect when you actually administered this medication. So in this case, this was an 8 p.m. med. So I'm going to document that I administered this medication at 7:45. And then you have to give a reason. So you don't have to type in exactly what I have typed in here, but this is what I would want to see, something along the lines of. So administration was completed on time. Clarify that right off the bat. If you did administer this medication on time, but you were completing the documentation late, then please make sure that it's clear that administration was completed on time. And then here I said documentation was completed outside of the administration window, okay? Again, that just makes it very clear that it's the documentation that is late and not the actual administration of the medication. So then we're going to go here and say administer now. And okay. And now it shows, 1 out of 1. This is a very lucky person. They only have 1 medication. 1 out of 1 is completed and it won't show as missed. Okay. So that is how we're going to handle any documentation that is late within iCM if you fall outside of that documentation and administration window. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your supervisor or to reach out to me, and I would be happy to clarify any questions you have. Okay, thanks.